Hello, this is Teacher Jeffrey. Plants do play an important role in our world. They are called the producers, for they make their own food. They feed themselves and other organisms in our environment. This is a guide to help us better understand what photosynthesis is. So hang on and join the ride. How do we understand photosynthesis? This is the guide that we will use. We will use the word equation in understanding how plants make their own food. And we call this process as photosynthesis. Through this illustration, we are able to see that there will be dots. The black dots are the substances being used or the reactants and those that are produced. We have the arrow pointing to the right side. So the left side will be the reactants, on the right side will be your products. We have those things that we need. On top of the arrow will be sunlight, below the arrow will be chlorophyll. So it is needed from the outside environment, sunlight. From the inside of the leaf is the chlorophyll, which is inside the chloroplast. So it's the green pigment. So we will now start in understanding this. The left side, the carbon dioxide, is coming from the outer environment or the surrounding air. And then water comes from the ground or the soil, going into the roots, through the stem, into the leaf. So once these two reactants, or once these two combine in the chloroplast, wherein chlorophyll is present, with the presence of sunlight, then photosynthesis will now occur, producing glucose, which is the main product, and its byproduct will be oxygen and water. We will use this word equation in answering some of the questions that will be asked on the next slide. So we will now go to the questions. Let us now try to answer some questions about photosynthesis. So first question, a plant is grown in bright sunlight. The diagram shows that what is seen when a cell from this leaf is placed under a microscope. After an hour or a few hours, a leaf from this plant is stained with iodine solution. What will be stained blue-black? So there's a photo about the plant cell. So A is the nucleus, B is the cell wall, C is the chloroplast, and D is the cell sac. From the previous slide, we were able to see under the arrow is the word chlorophyll. The chlorophyll is the green pigment in the chloroplast, and this traps light for photosynthesis to take place. And then the product is glucose. But when glucose is stored, it is stored as starch. So the best answer for this kind of question is C. The next question that we're going to tackle is about this question. In photosynthesis, which substances are used up, which are produced, and which are necessary but remain unchanged after the reaction? So there will be three things that they asked from here. Used up, it means the reactants. Produce, it means the product. And remains, it must be in the leaf. So in used up, this will be reactants, and we have carbon dioxide and water. So it is either A or D. Products, we have glucose, oxygen, and water. Still, it could either be A or D. And what remain is what is in the leaf that is used for photosynthesis. And that will be your chlorophyll, which is found in your chloroplast. So this determines which is the correct answer. And the best choice will be letter D. We are now in this question, and this is the third one. The diagram represents a section to part of a leaf. So it shows a leaf, a cross section of a leaf. How do carbon dioxide and water enter the leaf? So we need to locate where the entry points of substances are. For carbon dioxide comes from the outer environment, or meaning the air itself. It goes into the stomata and goes into the cell which contains chlorophyll. So it must be from a high concentration to a lower concentration, and the movement of substance must be diffusion. So it's either C or D. For the water, it is coming from the root to the stem to the leaf, and in the leaf there is the vascular bundle. That is why there are letters P and Q. Which part where water comes from? So it needs to be the xylem. Where is the xylem? The xylem must have a thick wall because it is lignified. So we can see here that P has thicker wall than Q. So it must be P. Xylem must be P. So carbon dioxide diffusion, water, tissue P. So the best answer is C. The next question is about graph shows how two different conditions affect the rate of photosynthesis. So this mainly is talking about the limiting factor. What limits the rate of photosynthesis? What limits the production of glucose during photosynthesis? For graph 1, as you can see, it increases and then it becomes constant. So this figure shows that there will be an amount of substance. So this will be concentration of carbon dioxide for graph 1. While in graph 2, it increases, it goes up, then it goes down. So we need to think if it is light intensity or if it is temperature. But with this kind of graph, as the temperature rises, so as the rate of photosynthesis goes up, but there's a peak and then suddenly it goes down. So it means it's temperature. So the best answer for this will be B. Until here, we are done with our topic, nutrition, plant nutrition, and we specifically pointed out as the word equation for photosynthesis in understanding and answering questions. So if you haven't subscribed yet, click that subscribe button, and if you want more of this revision, then click that bell button for notification. This is teacher Jeffrey. A goal without a plan is just a wish.